Welcome back inside the Cowichan Community Center. I'm Justice Doucette. The Capitals will start the game short-handed for 5 minutes because Cole Broadhurst during warm-up fired a puck down the far side boards and it hit Derek Kroll, the Kings goaltender, up in the head. So Cowichan starts the game short-handed for 5 minutes. Cote wins the draw. Boucher on the far side of his ice will fire it all the way back down. This is going to be a huge swing in this game, and it's going to come fairly early on in it as Cowichan back now down to 11 forwards. Brett Rollison out of his own zone on the near side, works it towards center. Glazeman steps over the Cowichan line, trying to dump it in. Boucher knocked it away at the side of the goal. Rollison takes over. Rollison far side corner, battles with Boucher, poke towards the far point. Schmunk will keep it in for the Kings. Walks down the far side boards into the far corner. Schmunk, far point now up top for Moran. Riley Moran into the far side. Glazeman gloves it down in the corner. Plays it up the boards. It's cut off by Cote, but he fanned on his clearing attempt. Now being tied up with Rollison. Gauthier wins the battle and fires it all the way down. Great hustle there from Olivier Gauthier as Moran tied up with Cote. And that's the first 50 seconds of this Kings power play. Jack Long works his way into the Cowichan zone. Near side, Glazeman steps down the boards. Glazeman drops it back up top to the near point. Finley walks down the near side boards. Takes it into the corner, trying to center. He put up the side of the goal. Walks it in front. Loose puck on the side. Borgil down the kick. Caps get it to the line, but not out. Long opens up. He shoots in a catching glove save from Borgil. No traffic on the way through. He'll stop and hold on with 1 minute and 14 seconds gone in this penalty. So Cole Broadhurst ejected from the game before it even starts. And the Kings start the game with a 5-minute power play. He was given a match penalty. Maybe some variation of the warm-up violation or something as it would go in the book, but all that matters is Cowichan is short-handed 5 minutes. Gauthier had a wide-open chance to clear and he couldn't get it out. Finley down the board, shoots up, rebound, but all in a save by Borgil, coming across towards the far side. McKay digs it free in the far corner. Down low far side, but all. Far point for Pennington. Near side for Finley. Finley in the middle. Abdral fanned on his shot, and this time Gauthier will clear. Collected to the back of the goal by Pennington. 4 shots so far on this Kings power play. It's the Capitals' Valley Carpet 1 penalty kill. Played in around the back of the goal towards the near side. Cut off by Dan McIntyre, and he'll steer it down the ice on the backhand. Mike Giannakis got taken down by Glazeman in behind the play. That's what the fans were hollering about, but play will continue with Long in behind his own net. Jack Long up the far side, stops up when he's pressured by Lundy. Now near side Rollison, over center and into the Cowichan zone, dumps it in. Got tied up by Mike Giannakis, who bats it up the near wall. Long will keep it in at the point. Walks to the middle, he shoots, it's stopped by Borgil, and he didn't know where it was. It looks like it might have been tipped by Glazeman right on the doorstep, but Borgil hung on to it and stopped play with 17:26 remaining in this first period, and the Kings on the power play for another 2:27. Cote will take the face-off against Rollison. And it's won back by the Kings. Near side point, Long shoots, stopped by Borgil. Looks like that one might have changed direction on the way through as well, as Gauthier pushing and shoving with Glazeman, and that's going to draw a crowd in front of the goal. 6 shots in the first 2.5 minutes of this Kings power play, doing a great job of putting things towards net. Schmunk, Rollison, Glazeman, Long and Moran is the power play unit for the Kings. Cote ties up on the draw. Schmunk claps it back to the point for Long. Long into the near corner. Schmunk with room. He shoots and he fanned on it, and Borgil poked it away. Moran driven into the far corner boards. Now he's tied up against the wall. Poking the puck free is Glazeman. He's checked hard by Ferguson. Now he falls on top of it in the far corner. It's poked back towards the far point for Long. Long moves in, he shoots in a midsection, saved by Borgil, with again Glazeman right on the doorstep and Webster getting in his grill. 1:59 remains in the Kings power play, 16:58 remains first period, 8 shots so far on the Powell River power play. Far Far side draw, McIntyre and Lundy jump out to work against the unit of Abrall, McKay, Badal, Finley, and Pennington. Draws one by Cowichan, but Microgiannakis lost it in his skates and the Kings take over. Near side up top, Pennington, one-timer blocked on the way through, and Microgiannakis will bat it out to center. Johnny Howie is the one serving the penalty by the way. Cole Broadhurst done for the game. There's a huge hit! McIntyre steps into Pennington! Absolutely blew him off! Now Pennington retreats back into his own zone, pokes it away from the oncoming John Lundy. We played 3.5 minutes. There's your Rods Auto Glass and Upholstery's hit of the game. Here's Finley into the Cowichan zone. Drops it off for McKay. He'll wrist it around into the far corner for Badal. Poked away from Boucher. McKay back in the net. Microgiannakis on him. Finley in the near corner works it up the near side boards. Pennington had a bounce over his stick, and it's all the way back into the Kings zone. Boy, did Davis Pennington ever get drilled by Dan McIntyre there as he works his way back to the Kings bench. Near side Rollison drops it off to Glazeman. He's drilled by McIntyre! Dan McIntyre, a one-man wrecking crew out there. Far side work down the boards. Moran touched into the middle. Rollison shoots and it's blocked in front. Near side, Schmunk around the back of the goal into the far corner. Far point Moran. Near side long one-timer blocked in front. Webster will take off up the near side for Gauthier. Dumped it into the Kings zone. 25 seconds remain in the penalty. Long takes off up the ice, cutting towards the near side. Now steps in over the Cowichan blue line. Drop pass near side, Glazeman. Back to Long in the near corner. He's poke check, and it's out to center. Backing up into his own zone is Garrett. Standing up in the penalty box is Howie. Kroll tapping his stick. Howie back on the ice, and the Caps have killed off the penalty. Listen to this. Microgiannakis behind his own net, rings it around near side. Howie trying to fight off the check of Garrett, lifts it across the ice towards the blue line, but not out. Kern will shoot it back in deep. Porchetta had it hop past him into the near corner. Howie again locks it against the boards. Trying to dig it free is Krogfoss. Now Howie sticks it up the boards, couldn't clear. Garrett near point shoots. Toe save by Borgil. Cowichan can't clear. Now Cote up the near side. It hits the skates of Howie. Caps need to change here and badly. Lundy pokes it towards the near side. Steps into the Kings zone but couldn't get it in deep. Krogfoss retreats back into his own zone. Far side Miller tapped it back into his own end. Nobody home. And Cowichan will forecheck now. Kern around the back of the goal far side, back to 5-on-5 after Cowichan kills off a 5-minute penalty to start the game. Webster fires it up the far side boards out of the reach of Wilson. This is going to be an icing call. Exactly 6 minutes gone in the first period. What a penalty kill from Cowichan. So we're back to 5-on-5. Johnny Howie back on the Cowichan bench. Cole Broadhurst done for the night. Off the face-off, Glazeman alone in front. He shoots, save, rebound, they score! Ethan Schmunk right off the face-off, and the Kings take a 1-0 lead. Just a blown assignment in the defensive zone for Cowichan right off the draw. Glazeman was able to get to it on the near side. His backhand chance was stopped, but Borgil had come out of the goal to challenge. And it's put in by Ethan Schmunk. His third goal of the series makes it 1-0 Kings, 6:05 in. So Cowichan gets through that kill, but then the costly icing penalty comes back to make it a 1-0 Powell River lead. Schmunk will get the goal, Glazeman the primary assist, and likely won't be a secondary assist. Schmunk tied up with Crass on the draw. Both Wilson and Webster just stepped right through the middle of the ice and didn't pick up anybody, allowing Glazeman and Schmunk to break in free. So Glazeman does get the only assist on the goal, as Cowichan now playing from behind, but you probably still take this after starting the game short-handed for 5 minutes. Lots of pushing and shoving. Brooks into it with Glazeman. Monk in there as well. So 6:05 the time of it, and the Kings get the goal after the power play expires. First 2 or 3 minutes of that 5-minute power play was very well executed by Powell River. They had 8 shots in the first 2.5 minutes of the man advantage, but none after that. Then they break through just after the icing call to make it 1-0. And now there has been a 10-minute misconduct given to Zach Brooks by the looks of it. For some pushing and shoving on the face-off. Just gave one too many shots to Dawson McKay on the far side, and Cowichan isn't going to go short-handed here, but it is going to be a 10-minute misconduct against Brooks. Dan McIntyre having some words with the official on the far side. It's going to remain at 5-on-5. Cowichan needs to calm down here, find some just settle into this game before it gets away from them, before it's even 20 minutes old. Brett Rollison, far side, will dump it in, but he puts too much air under it, and it ends up in the netting on the far side. So Zach Brooks given a 10-minute misconduct, and there's the reaction from the fans. Back in front of the Powell River bench. Feels a lot different in here than it did even 2 minutes ago after Cowichan had killed off that power play. The Kings get the goal just after, and now Cowichan back in the penalty box, although they're not short-handed. McIntyre near side corner, plays it up the boards, nobody home. Michael Abgral looking through the middle. Here's Rollison with some speed into the Cowichan zone. He moves and he shoots. Shoulder saved by Bordeal, and he'll cover with McKay right on the doorstep. First 12 shots of the game all belong to Powell River, and Cowichan needs to find something and do it soon before the Kings can extend this. Cowichan started the game short-handed for 5 minutes after Cole Broadhurst was given a match. He shot a puck off the far side boards during warm-up, and it hit Derek Kroll in the head. So the Capitals were able to kill off that 5-minute penalty, but just after it, they iced the puck, and a blown coverage on a defensive zone face-off gives Powell River the game's first goal. Puck tipped up and out of play into the Cowichan bench with just under 7 minutes gone here in the first period. I'm Justice Doucette. Thanks for spending some time with us on this Friday evening. If Cowichan wins tonight, they're off to the second round to take on Nanaimo, which would start a week from tonight at Frank Crane Arena. While if the Kings win, that would mean we're going to Hap Parker Arena tomorrow night. Kroll rings it around towards the near side, looking for Foe, takes a hard hit from both Cote and Gauthier. Now back of the goal, Cowichan forces a steal. Sit away out of the far corner towards the far top circle, shrugs off the check of turn. Back of the goal, Gauthier. Near side point, Barrett, one-timer off a stick and over top of the net. Gauthier in the far corner, takes a hit from Krogfoss. Sit away, digs it free up top, slaps it down low. It hits Gauthier, who spins off 2 checks and then fires a shot to be kicked away by Kroll. Cote looking to spin away from Pennington. Sit away with a hard check. Laid it on the near corner on Krogfoss as Foe tips it out to center. Moran looking to dump it in, had it broken up by Barrett. Now it's played into the middle. Foe far side up top. Takes a hit from Cote and spins it in deep on the far side. Foe tying up with Webster. Up the far side, sit away across the ice. Here's Nolan Barrett with a burst of speed. Over the Kings line, fires a long shot wide of the net. Far side, Glazeman first to it, takes a hard hit from Lynn. Glazeman tried to stand him up, and Lynn absolutely buried him. Now near side, here's Badal over center into the Cowichan zone. Soft shot sticked away by Borgil. Centering pass, Glazeman shot off a stick and wide of the net. Luke Wilson, far side, tried to clear. He fanned on it, long kept it in, and then ripped it well over top of the goal. Micro Giannakis stretch feed, hits off a King's stick, and bounces back into the Powell River zone as we near the midway point of this first period. Kings break out of their own zone with Jack Long skating through the middle. Looking off a Cowichan stick, dumping it in. Now Boucher sends it back down into the Kings zone. Forechecking is Krasa. Finley left the puck behind, Schmunk back of the goal, stripped by Wilson. Self trying to center, he fanned on it, and Glazeman taps it towards the half boards. Abgral sends it back into his own corner. Finley into the far corner for Long. Ring around finds Glazeman. Glazeman opens up, chips it towards center. Abgral will redirect it back into the Cowichan zone. Austin Chorney near side, works his way out of his own zone, takes off up the ice, swings it towards center for Self, who now steers it in deep. Crawl out of the goal to play it. Pennington quickly rings it far side for Hewlett, up the far boards for McKay. McKay takes a hard check from Self, but he moves it out to center. Here's a 3-on-2. Pennington near side had the pass just go under his stick and end up along the near side boards. Cullen Ferguson using the far glass to move it out to center. Hewlett tried to fire it back in and hit McKay, and now McKay takes it away from Lundy. McKay moves in and shoots, sticked away by Borgil. Porchetta off the bench, takes a hit from Chorney in the near corner. McIntyre jabs it up the wall for Self. He couldn't get it past Pennington. On the second opportunity he does, and Cowichan will work through a change. Far side, here's Rowan Miller. With speed into the Cowichan zone, lost his footing, then stands back up and shoots it wide. Near side, Gauthier chips it out. Here comes Cowichan, could be numbers. Lundy near side, got poke check, now steers it back in deep looking for Gauthier. And there's a penalty coming up against both teams. Gauthier spun away from the hit from Krogfoss, who dove, and it's going to remain at 5-on-5, but we're going to step away with 9:56 remaining first period. Cowichan trailing 1-0. You're listening to Capitals Hockey on 89.7 Juice FM, presented by Discovery Honda. Micro Giannakis near point, tried to send it towards the goal. It's blocked by Kern and then backhanded back into the Kings bench by Ethan Schmunk. Schmunk has the lone goal, and the Kings have a 1-0 lead with 9:49 remaining in the first period. Cowichan hasn't yet been credited with a shot. The Kings have 14 of them, with 8 of them coming on a 5-minute power play to start this game. And then the Kings did not score on the power play, but scored just after a minute after it expired. Primo Self spins his way down the near side boards, battling with Garrett, trying to circle away from him. Cote back in goal, wrapped up by Schmunk, and it comes to Ian Kern. Kern up the far side boards for Moran, had it bounce away from him, and it's fired right back in by Boucher. Garrett near corner takes a hit from Sidaway. Cowichan's been very physical in this game, but it's just a matter of starting to create some opportunities now, as it's dumped in by Glazeman, knocked down by Micro Giannakis, and his pass bounced off the boards in behind Sidaway for an icing call back in the Cowichan zone. So Schmunk with his third of the series from Glazeman at 6:05, the scoring play, and Cowichan's kind of started the game behind the 8 ball here, now down to 11 forwards, and that's including Johnny Howie, who's a converted defenseman. Kings win the offensive zone draw. Abgral near side battles with Boucher. Rollison watches on as well, does Cote. Played in behind the net. Cote took it away from Rollison, and now Boucher will go for a skate. Near side, works it towards center, flip pass far side, Sidaway. Cuts around long, trying to go to the goal, and he got tied up, and then coming in to collect the loose puck was Finley, who fires it out to center. Micro Giannakis far side for Boucher. Up the boards, cut off by Jack Long. His dump in, knocked down, and then he steers it in on the backhand, back into the near corner for Micro Giannakis to go back to. Kings lead 1-0. with 8 and change left here in the first period. Stretch feed knocked away by Badal. Works his way back into the Cowichan zone, sticks it into the far corner and goes after it. Boucher tying up with him in the far corner, centering pass Long all the way to the goal, got tied up and couldn't get a shot away. And then Borgil got tied up with Long, and they're wrapped up in behind the net. Play is continuing with Long still in the net. Near side, Pennington shoots, it's blocked in front. Paylor Chow collects it on the near side. It's Jacob Paylor Chow, who plays for the Grandview Steelers in the Pacific Junior Hockey League, as it's off a stick and out of play. Long ended up in the Cowichan net, and the officials all let it play on in the near corner with Borgil and Long wrapping up. We're playing at 5-on-5, but both Olivier Gauthier and Nolan Krogfoss sit in the penalty box. It was Gauthier for holding and Krogfoss for diving just before we went to the in-arena timeout here in the first period. It's McIntyre, Lundy, and Self out there up front for the Caps. Abgral, Foe, and Porchetta for the Kings. Barrett touches it up the near side boards for Self. His dump in knocked down by Pennington, who took a monstrous hit from Dan McIntyre earlier in this game. Pennington swings it into the middle. Kern far side up the boards. Here's Porchetta over center, dumps it in. Barrett going back for it. Foe forechecking. Hard hit by Barrett in behind the net on Brett Foe. Now far side, Foe gloves it down to himself. Spins away from a check, trying to center. Barrett just angles him into the wall, and McIntyre collects the puck. Self near side tips it up the boards, couldn't get it past Pennington, who rings it back in deep. Borgil in behind his own net, plays it away from the oncoming Foe. Near side, Self lifts it in the air, and it's out to center. McIntyre kicks it forward, and a hand pass is called. Cowichan would have been away 2-on-2. He doesn't like the call, neither do the fans, who are getting a little bit on the officials earlier in this game. It was gloved as it was flipped out of the Cowichan zone, then hit the shaft of the King's stick, and McIntyre doesn't like that. He got what he thought was a chance taken away. But they'll face off just in front of the Powell River bench. Cote, Gauthier, and Sidaway. As it's one just towards the Kings bench. Poke towards Gauthier, who sticks it in. Rollison has it for the Kings. Far side for Long. Long off the glass, back into the Cowichan zone. There's a penalty, rather an icing call coming up against Cowichan. Long hustling back towards the Kings bench. He didn't hear the whistle, but a really hard hit from Gauthier. And Jack Long, who twice in Game 4 had his helmet come off, had it knocked off his head there once again. Really good crowd here at the Big Stick in Duncan, trying to urge their team on to try and tie the game here. So much, there's been lots of physicality, but not much else to cheer about as the Kings lead 1-0 and lead on the shot clock 14-0. Off the draw, one towards Sidaway, who shoots, and it's sticked away by Krall. Now Sidaway forechecking, throws Long into the boards. Sidaway got tripped up in the far corner. Play's going to continue. Rollison up the boards towards McKay. He'll move it into the middle now for Glazeman. Glazeman over the Cowichan line with 7 minutes to go in the first period. Walks it around the back of the goal, then he gets drilled into the wall by Micro Giannakis, and it's going to be a Powell River power play coming up here. Glazeman went down rather easy, but Cowichan just continues to make their way to the penalty box. It's a cross-checking call against Micro Giannakis. Glazeman put himself in a really dangerous position, stopping up like 3 or 4 feet away from the boards. And Micro Giannakis gave him a shove on the backside, and the Kings will go to their second power play of this game. So Cowichan's really put themselves in a bad position here to start this game. Of course, taking that 5-minute penalty is unexplainable. And now shorthanded for a second time here, trailing 1-0, and yet to officially get a shot on goal. Off the draw, it bounces right to Borgil, who sticks it to Gauthier, and it's slapped all the way down the ice. So cross-checking is the call against Micro Giannakis, with 6:45 remaining first period. Near side, Finley playing into the middle. It's off the stick of Abgral towards the far side and neutral ice. But all backing up, works it towards center. Now flips it near side for Finley. Finley into the Cowichan zone, stops up at the half boards, plays it back to the near point, Pennington. Far side up top for Badal. Badal circles away from Cote, works his way down the far boards, one hands it to the back of the goal for McKay. McKay in the near corner, playing it towards Finley, who knocks it away from Gauthier, trying to center. It's broken up by Webster. McKay takes back over in the near corner, Finley again at the half boards. Finley near side point for Pennington, across the ice, Badal one-timer, blocked in front by Ferguson, and Cote will clear it all the way down. Great block from Cullen Ferguson, who's feeling a little bit as he heads back to the bench. 1 minute remains in this Powell River power play, and 5:55 in the first period. Jack Long near side, drops it off for Rollison. Trying to keep it away from Lundy, who stole it, brings it back to neutral ice, and then fires it back into his own zone. Tyrell Boucher will shoot it hard off the far boards, and it's all the way back in behind the Kings' goal. Long out from behind his own net, lost the puck. Lundy almost stole it, and then Long tripped him up, and the play continues. Near side, Glazeman into the Kings' zone, works it across the ice, centers, Moran, put it off the bar. Beat Borgil over the glove, but found iron. Long near side for Rollison. Rollison walks into the near corner, back of the goal looking for Glazeman. It ends up in the far corner. Moran ties up, it's poked towards the point. Lundy sticks it forward. Here's a chance for a breakaway. Lundy with McIntyre. Lundy moves in, he shoots, stopped by the padded crawl. Rebounds loose. Webster just batted it wide. Schmunk takes over far side. Micro Giannakis back on the ice. What a chance there for Cowichan. Lundy couldn't get it to McIntyre in the middle. The Kings got back and made it into almost a 2-on-1. And Lundy's shot was denied by the left leg of Derek Crawl. Inside 5 minutes to go in the first. Back to 5-on-5. Pennington in behind the Kings goal. Miller plays it towards center, out of the reach of Krogfoss. Near side, Wilson couldn't handle it. Forward for Paylor Chow, who avoids the hit from Krasa and shoots it in. Ferguson back of the goal for Chorney. He's pressured by Miller. They wrestle each other down to the ice behind the goal. Chorney sitting on top of the puck at the near side, and neither he nor Miller trying to get up, and play is stopped with 4:12 remaining first period. It'll be a draw to the near side of the Cowichan goal. Capped with a couple of opportunities there on that short-handed chance. Lundy with both of them. First time he stripped it away from Jack Long, who then pulled him down as he tried to work his way in. And then Lundy and McIntyre on that sort of broken 2-on-1. Abgral against Cote in the near corner of the Cowichan zone. Abgral steers it towards the net. Borgil pokes it in behind the net. Sit away into the near corner for Webster. Webster slaps it off the boards. It's through the legs of Garrett and all the way down the ice. Icing's waved off. Crawl leaves it in the back of the goal. Sit away for checking on Pennington. Cote far point Webster. Slap shot blocked in front by Porchetta. Brett Foe near side towards center. Shoots it in. Into the far corner. Webster's the first one onto it. Trying to reverse on Foe, who lost his footing. Now Webster near side for Barrett. Up the boards, tipped in by Gauthier. Cowichan will work through a change as Ian Kern collects it at the back of his own net. 3.5 minutes left first period. 1-0 Kings. Glazeman tried to dump it in. It was blocked by Boucher. Boucher back up the far side for Lundy. Chipping it into the middle. Broken up by Ethan Schmunk. Schmunk will use the far glass to play it back out to center. Boucher dumps it right back in. Kern first to it, near corner of his own zone. McIntyre back in the goal. Almost stole it. Now chipped in front off the post by McIntyre from a sharp angle. Glazeman back the other way. 3-on-3 into the Cowichan zone. He shoots. It's blocked by Boucher. Ends up in the corner for Badal. Badal poke check by Self. Now spins away far side. Badal watched by McIntyre. Far point Long. He shoots. It was blocked. Played through the middle. Here's Lundy 1-on-1. Lundy far side, trying to step around Rollison, got poke check. McIntyre cutting through, checks, knocked off the puck. Near side, Finley up the boards for Miller, and the pass blew up his stick as he tips it out to center. Brady Lynn, far side for Ferguson, trying to get into the Kings zone around the back of the goal. Looking to center, couldn't get it anywhere. Now Ferguson dumps it back in deep. Lynn in the corner, spins and chips it far side. He had Krasa all alone in front. Ferguson with a pinch keeps it alive. Long behind his own net, wrapped up by Lynn. Trying to be poked free, Rollison into the near corner. Jabs it away from Krasa. Krasa back down low for Lynn. Near side half boards again for Krasa, who spins and shoots. It's stopped by Crawl. Wilson back of the goal. tried to play it off the back of the net to himself, then steered in front, and he got tied up. Paler Chow continued to clear, lost his footing, but then played it out to neutral ice. Great pushback here from Cowichan. Wilson far side, shoots it back into the near corner. Pennington moves it far corner for Garrett. Up the wall, knocked down by Wilson, back of the goal. Near side, Pennington towards the point for Porchetta. Porchetta chips it back into the Cowichan zone. First to it, Moran. Centering pass, Porchetta shoots it, stopped by Borgil and covered up. Great save there by Borgil as Zach Brooks comes out of the box after serving his 10-minute misconduct. Cowichan getting heavily outshot and probably fortunate to be down just 1-0, but starting to gather some momentum at 5-on-5. Great shift there by the unit of Brady Lynn, Matt Krasa, and Luke Wilson. Cote takes the face-off against Krogfoss. Draws one right into the middle. Micro Giannakis and Porchetta tie up as he swung a weak shot off the stick of Borgil, and then it's batted out to center by the Caps. Moran trying to clear, knocked down by Cote at center, stops up and dumps it in. Near side, Porchetta just in front of his own bench, stripped by Sidaway. Sidaway far side, Micro Giannakis, Boucher dumps it back into the near corner. First to it is Garrett. He's wrapped up by Gauthier. Cote near as well. Taken away by the Kings. Porchetta chopped it away from Sidaway and now works it towards center. Finds the red line and flips it in deep. Last minute of play here, first period. Boucher fires it up the far wall for Sidaway, trying to step away from Long. It was off his skate and Ethan Schmunk takes over. Schmunk stops up in his own zone for Long at the back of the net. Lost the handle, but it bounces right to Finley, being watched by Self. Self all over Finley, who plays it up the near side towards center. Abgral forward for Schmunk. He'll play it in softly to the Cowichan zone. Chorney and McKay engage into the boards, and it's dug free by John Lundy. Lundy across the ice near side for Self. Cuts around Finley. Here comes Primo Self. He moves in. He shoots up. Rebound. McIntyre got taken down. There's a penalty coming up against the Kings, and Cowichan will go to the power play, and it likely saved a goal as McIntyre got pulled down from behind by Ethan Schmunk. And Cowichan now will get an opportunity with the man advantage. What a quick little crossover move there from Primo Self. He absolutely burns Finley up the near side of the ice. And now Cowichan will get a chance of the man advantage that will more than likely cross over to the second period. But listen to this. Self with a beautiful move to step in and turn that into a 2-on-1. He fires it off the far pad of Kral, who kicks it back into the middle. And McIntyre driving down that center lane couldn't get to it because he got pulled down from behind. Far side face-off, 21 seconds remain first period. Kings win the draw. Pennington fakes the ring around, then uses the far glass to bank it all the way down the ice, and that'll all but do it on this first period. We'll see if Cowichan decides they want to push it. Micro Giannakis has some speed. Up the near side for Self. Self cutting towards the middle. 5 seconds remain in the period. He'll dump it in, and that will do it for the first period as Kern collects it in the far corner. So Cowichan will go to the second, trailing 1-0. Welcome back inside the Cowichan Community Center. I'm Justice Doucette. Capitals starting the second period on the power play for 1 minute and 40 seconds. Off the draw, the Kings control it and flip it back into the Cowichan zone. Cowichan trailing this game 1-0 after a goal from Ethan Schmunk in that first period, his third goal of the series. Wilson stepped into the Powell River zone, midpoint, Micro Giannakis. Near side up top, it's Olivier Gauthier. Back in front, Krasa just tipped it wide. Near side, the Kings will control it. Micro Giannakis far side, Primo Self. Self down the boards far side, trying to center. He put it off the side of the goal. Garrett near side moves it towards Long, who fires it through the middle and all the way down the ice. 55 seconds remain in this Cowichan power play. It's the first power play of the night for the Caps. Kings are 0 for 2 on the man advantage, and that includes a 5-minute major. Wilson tripped up as he stepped into the zone. Play's going to continue. Brooks near side, drops it back to the point. Boucher, far point for Self. Self midpoint, Boucher walks towards the far side. Self far half boards. 30 seconds to go in the man advantage. Boucher from the point, he shoots, it's tipped, bouncing around, crawl down, and it's loose to the near side, dug free by McIntyre. Boucher near point, he shoots, blocked in front by Kern. Near side McIntyre again. Good puck retrieval here from Cowichan. McIntyre slows it down, walks down the wall, he shoots, stopped, rebound in front, and Moran had to hit him in the backside. And then Brooks got tripped up by Crawl behind the play. Pennington moves and he shoots and he put it off the bar. 1-on-2, Pennington just repped a wrist shot, and he beat Borgil over the blocker. Out of the box, Schmunk takes a hard hit from Cote. Boucher will dump it in. Back to 5-on-5. Garrett towards the near side for Long. It gets past him. Miller near side half court, banks it back towards Long, and it's worked out through center. Jack Long over the Cowichan line, far side, trying to step into the zone. Backhand chance was stopped. Cote plays into the far corner. Chorney up the far boards. It is all the way down the ice. And as Garrett goes back, it'll be an icing call against Cowichan with 2:09 gone, second period. Cowichan with 2 shots there on that power play, but scrambly play after Boucher let the shot go and it hit something in front of the goal. Schmunk will take the draw against Cote, near side of the ice in the Cowichan zone. And the Kings win it. Paylor Chow midpoint for Pennington. He opens and shoots it blocked. Schmunk a chance and it was going wide, but Borgil makes the catching glove save and stops play. Ethan Schmunk with his third of the playoffs has the Kings in front 1-0. Came from Levi Glazeman at 6:05 in that first period. Another near side face-off in the Cowichan zone. McIntyre against Schmunk. One towards the near half boards and taken over by Austin Chorney. Chorney using the far glass, moves it towards center where it hit Gauthier. Chipped near side just out of the reach of Sidaway and back into the Kings zone. In Kern near side, sidesteps a hit from McIntyre. Pennington up the near side boards for Moran. Moran towards the Kings bench, broken up by Ferguson, and then Moran dumps it back in. Chorney far side, fanned on his pass at the boards. Moran tracks it down and dumps it back in from center. Chorney fires it back up the far boards and all the way down the ice. Crawl stops in behind the Kings goal. Up the near side, Moran taps it back into the middle. Schmunk took it away from McIntyre. Far side, Paylor Chow back in the middle, broken up by Ferguson. McIntyre chips it out to center for Lynn. Back into the middle, here's Dan McIntyre, 3-on-2. McIntyre trying to get wide, goes around the back of the goal and got tied up by Garrett. Tried to take it on the net to the backhand, but just lost it at the last moment. Dug free in behind the net by the Kings. It's Jack Long looking through the middle and flipped down the ice. Barrett tracks it down for Cowichan. Kings trying to work through a change as Barrett pushes it up the ice. Chips it forward for Tanner Sidaway. Splits the defender. Sidaway moves in, shoots it, a crawl, save. He'll cover up. Sidaway almost lost and put it out of his own reach. And there's going to be penalties on both sides as both Garrett and Sidaway, I believe, are going to be going to sit here for 2 minutes. We're going to keep it at 5-on-5. Sidaway split the 2 defenders as he's almost done a couple of different times in the game tonight. Just poked it a little bit out of his reach and maybe could have tried dropping it back to Barrett, who was the second guy going towards the net, but he tried to take the sharp angle shot and Crawl covered up. Krasa, Wilson, and Lynn near side of the ice in the Kings zone against Rollison, Badal, and Abral. Off the draw, Krasa broke his stick, and the Kings take over. Pennington up the far side, boards touched into the middle for Badal. Badal stops up far side, top circle, deposits down low for Krogfoss. Now Rollison in the far corner, tied up by Krasa, who works it towards the line and off the stick of Finley and out to center. Long backing up, sidesteps the hit from Wilson, and both of them went crashing down to the ice. Abgral across to the near side, out of the reach of Badal. Webster backing up, uses the glass. Long keeps it in, now steps around Krasa. Webster broke it up, and it's touched towards center by Krasa. In a race for it, Lynn and Rollison. It's Rollison that gets to it first, and he's chased in behind his own net. 4 minutes gone here in the second. Kings leading 1-0. Jack Long works his way through center. Shoots it in right on goal from center, and Borgil thought about playing it, but with Porchetta forechecking, it's covered up. And now Porchetta and Barrett tying up in the near side corner with little extracurriculars. Kings heavily out shooting Cowichan. They started the game with a 5-minute power play in which they fired 8 shots on net on. Didn't score on it though, and Cowichan could have maybe gotten a really big boost from getting that early penalty kill, but the Kings scored a minute after it expired. Far side draw in the Cowichan zone. McIntyre against Krogfoss. Won by Cowichan. Webster far corner, spinning away from Porchetta at the back of the goal. Works his way up the near side, fires it across the ice for McIntyre. McIntyre into the Kings zone, opens up and shoots. It's off a stick and wide. Self back of the goal, chipped it in front, and it was broken up by Porchetta and then lifted off the netting far side by Porchetta and out of play. Cowichan leading this best-of-7 series, 3 games to 1 after a 2-1 win in Powell River on Wednesday night. If the Caps win, it's all over. If the Kings win, we go back to Powell River tomorrow night for Game 6. McIntyre again on the face-off. Wins it into the middle. Micro Giannakis, quick shot off a skate and wide. Krogfoss knocked off the puck by Brooks. Pennington back to the net towards the near side. Boucher pinched, but he couldn't get it past McKay. Brooks in center ice, opens up and shoots it in deep. Crawling behind the net again, will stop it, rings it far side, it hits a skate, and then Brooks just couldn't corral it in the middle of the ice. Porchetta near side for McKay. Over center, shoots it in deep. Starts a full sail line change for his team. 5 minutes gone, second period, 1-0 Kings. Boucher across the ice, McIntyre knocks down the bouncing puck and dumps it in. First to it is Long in the near side corner, being forechecked by Brooks. Far side, it's shuffled up the wall. Paler Chow lost his footing, and Micro Giannakis did as well, or else maybe he could have pinched and made a play on that. Long retreats in behind his own net as Cowichan now works through a change. Far side, it's Finley. Given room to skate, takes off near side, back to Long. Forward for Glazeman into the Cowichan zone. Lost it against the boards momentarily, and now John Lundy has it. Lundy spins away from 2 checks, moves it back to Ferguson. Far side, Micro Giannakis. Over center, dumps it in as he takes a hit from Paler Chow, but it was knocked down by Kern. Quick up forward for Glazeman. 1-on-2, steps into the Cowichan zone. He's wrapped up by Ferguson. And now Cote finds the puck and shoots it down the ice. And this will be an icing call as Davis Pennington goes back with 13:58 remaining second period. Both sit away, and Kern exit the penalty box, rather Garrett coming out of the box. Rollison, Miller, and Foe, the unit for the Kings on the far side of the Cowichan zone. Caps win the face-off. Ferguson rings it around near side. Lundy tipped it towards center, but it's knocked down by Foe. Foe backhands it back into the Cowichan zone. Ferguson back to it on the near side. Rings it around far side. Foe again first to it to keep it in. Foe down the far side boards, moves into a shot, and he rifles it wide of the goal. Hewlett keeps it in at the near point. His shot hits a body. Chipped in front by Rollison, and Borgiel fought it off. Micro Giannakis off the boards, down the ice. Here comes Lynn. 2-on-2 with Lundy. Lynn shoots, and it's shouldered away by Krall as he just about beat him over the glove hand side, but Krall got a piece of it. Lundy towards the near point, swings away from a check and lost it as it's touched out to center by the Kings. Here's Brett Rollison with speed, moves in, he shoots off a stick and wide as he and Ferguson collide on the far side. Played back into the far corner. Barrett trying to get away from Foe, who pushed him into the back side of the net. Kings take over, but the Krogfoss is stripped by Cote. Through the middle, Ferguson up the far side. Self will tip it back into the Powell River zone. Krall leaves it on the handoff for Ian Kern. Up the near side, cut off by Wilson. Across the ice, Krasa, and it just bounced over his stick. Far side, back of the goal for Self. Cycling up the far side, boards got poke check. Abgral lost his footing and poked it out to center. Barrett into the middle, Krasa back to the near side for Wilson. He'll push it into the Kings zone. Wilson stops up near side, back to the point, Webster. Long shot off the mesh, rebound, off the wide side of the post. Krasa batted it twice out of midair, and he almost poked it in. Krall took that shot off what looked like maybe the plastic neck protector of his mask, and then he made a great play to deny Krasa as well. Near side, McKay towards center, got tied up by Krasa and went down. Play is going to continue. Far side, Self couldn't tip it into the Kings zone. Garrett up the far side boards for McKay. Poke check by Barrett. Now Badal steps in. Circles far side, top circle, flipping into the middle. Shot away by Brooks, and it's back out to neutral ice. 8 minutes gone, second period, 1-0 Kings. Here's Schmunk into the Cowichan zone, far side. Stops up, trying to center, had it bounce away. Badal's open in the middle. The pass comes to the near point for Long. He opens, he shoots up. Another save by Borgil right on the doorstep on Dawson McKay. Schmunk near side up top, walks down the boards. He shoots, stopped by Borgil, who slides out of his net to cover with a good battle between McKay and Krasa in front of the net. What a chance there for Matt Krasa. Originally up here, it looked like he might have curled it inside the post, but it just bounced wide after the high rising point shot from Clark Webster went off the helmet or the neck protector of Kral, who stayed on his feet to make the save. And then Krasa batted it twice out of the air, the first time to sort of settle it, and the second time he just poked it wide. Near side face off in the Cowichan zone. Cote against Abgral. That shift and the pressure from Cowichan all started with Wilson stripping it after Self's forecheck coming fresh off the bench. Micro Giannakis towards center, gets center and sends it in. There's a penalty coming up against the Kings as Borgil was halfway to the bench before it was blown down, and there's a call coming up against Michael Abgral. So Cowichan will get a power play opportunity with 11:33 remaining in the second period. It's the second opportunity on the power play for the Caps. The first one was split briefly between the first and second period. They started with 1 minute and 40 seconds of power play time in this period and couldn't convert. Now get another opportunity. Krasa, Wilson, Self, Gauthier, and Micro Giannakis is the unit for Cowichan. Rollison, Miller, Kern, and Pennington for Powell River. Tie up on the draw. Kings come away with it as Rollison and Krasa tied up. Here comes Powell River, 2-on-2 short-handed. Pennington opens and he shoots and he put it wide of the goal. Wilson corrals it off the end boards, bounce. Hands it off for Micro Giannakis at the back of the goal. Gauthier far side now for Primo Self. Self for Krasa. Steps into the Kings zone. Drop pass for Self across the ice near side for Gauthier. Midpoint, Micro Giannakis shoots. It was blocked in front. Not cleared though. Micro Giannakis down the near side. Midpoint, Gauthier. Far side down low for Wilson. It bounced away from him. Hooks it back towards the point. Krasa in front. Had his shot blocked after a pass hit the skate and bounced right to him in the middle of the ice. Battle in the near side corner. Wilson back of the goal. Rings it towards the far half boards for Self. Back to the midpoint, Gauthier. He'll shoot off a stick and wide. Pinching in is Micro Giannakis to keep it alive. Wilson being double teamed in behind the net. Miller trying to clear. Kept in by Micro Giannakis, and a great keep at that. Far side for Self in the middle. Cross the timer, and it went off the heel of his stick and wide of the goal. Far side Self. Midpoint, Gauthier. Micro Giannakis. Shoulder save by Kral, and he covers. What a couple of chances from Matt Krasa here over the last few minutes. That time set up on the cross ice one-timer chance, and it just went off the heel of his stick and wide. 50 seconds remain in the Cowichan power play. It's Brooks, Cote, Lynn, McIntyre, and Boucher. 10:22 remains, second period. Kings leading 1-0. Powell River wins the draw again. Garrett with the opportunity to clear far side. He'll go for a skate. Garrett all the way to center, shoots it in deep from center ice, and Borgil will leave it for Boucher. Boucher through the middle out of his own zone, up the far side for Brady Lynn. His dump in knocked down by Jack Long. Uses the net as a shield and then fires it off of Cote and all the way down the ice. Last call here on this Cowichan power play. Here's Dan McIntyre across the ice for Brady Lynn. Lynn drops it for Brooks. Extra feed midpoint, Boucher walks down the far side boards. Boucher now at the half boards. Goes across the ice for McIntyre, and it just went off the toe of his stick. Cote far point for Lynn. Near side Boucher back to 5-on-5. Lynn far side dudes down the wall. He shoots stuff, rebounds loose, and it's cleared all the way down by Powell River. Boucher hustling back. This will be an icing call, and the Kings, who were trying to change, will not be allowed to, but they will get the benefit of the in-arena timeout with 9:21 left in the second. Cowichan pressuring, but the Kings still lead. You're listening to Capitals Hockey on 89.7 Jukes FM, presented by Discovery Honda. Welcome back inside the Cowichan Community Center. I'm Justice Doucette. Caps trailing 1-0 here to Powell River halfway through the second period. First period goal from Ethan Schmunk, our lone marker. Sit away far side, trying to spin away from Finley. Jabs it back to the point, long shot, hit Gauthier in front, bounces up in the air and just landed wide of the goal. Near side, Moran up the boards, knocked down, Sit away, shoots it back in, it hit Pennington, and he'll start the breakout for the Kings. Far side, Glazeman takes a hard hit from Micro Giannakis. Icing's waved off as it's dumped into the Cowichan zone. Micro Giannakis swings it in the middle for Boucher. Boucher, far side for Gauthier, bounced away from him, then Sidaway's chip shot hit Krasa in the middle of the ice. Gauthier back to Micro Giannakis. Cowichan just had a power play, couldn't convert on it. Micro Giannakis far side, steps back into the Powell River zone, driving wide, shoots it from a sharp angle and put it wide. Near side point, Ferguson taps it back down low. Cowichan will start to work through a change and the Kings will get a free pass on the breakout. Here's Badal far side into the Cowichan zone, stops up far side and then plays it in behind the goal. McIntyre bats it into the near corner. Schmunk takes over for the Kings, back of the goal. Now Chorney has it for the Caps. Chorney looking through the middle stretch feed. It hits somebody, so icing's waved off as he was looking for Tanner Sidaway. Self trying to keep it in at the far point, got knocked off of it by Badal, and then it's jabbed out to center by Powell River. Near side, Cullen Ferguson over center will just shoot it into the far side. First to it is Self. He'll center it, hits the stick of Jack Long, who takes a hard hit from McIntyre in behind the net. McIntyre trying to dig it free, centers, but nobody home, and Rowan Miller takes over. Badal near side, forward back for Miller, cut off by Ferguson, lifted back towards center. Kern had it bounce away from him. McIntyre got knocked off the puck. Now Brooks steps into the near corner, centers in front, it's tipped on goal by Self and denied. Now Ferguson opens and shoots, he put it over top of the net. Then it hit the top side of the net, landed on the back of it. Brooks digs it free. Near side, Ferguson shoots it back in deep. McIntyre far side, spinning away from Jack Long. McIntyre near corner tried to spin and shoot, he lost the handle and dumps it back in deep again. Great shift here for Cowichan. Chorney pinches to keep it alive, he shoots and it snuck through Crawl and just went wide. Back to the near point, Ferguson dumps it back in deep. Caps working through a change. In front, Lynn denied by the skate of Crawl. He and Krasa kind of fought each other over it, and Lynn barely got a stick on it. Then there's a huge hit from Krasa on Badal just between the benches. Forward now for Wilson, spins and dumps it in. Cowichan getting closer and closer here, but they've been yet to break through on the Kings netminder. Crawl knocks down, Krasa knocked down the clearance, but it's poked out to center by the Kings. Could be a 2-on-1 here. McKay, he's got Rollison and Paylor Chow. Class in front, broken up by Barrett. Lynn forward for Wilson with a burst of speed far side. Wilson opens up, tries to stop up on Pennington, opens up and shoots, it's blocked. The net's way off its moorings, and play's going to continue as the official just puts it back on its pegs. Or rather, I guess, waits for Cowichan to touch up. Chance in front, what a save by Borgil! Touch back up in front, Gauthier going away at the races, and it's blown down with the net off the moorings at the other end. And I don't understand why it took that long to get a whistle. The net was off for close to 15 seconds, but the Kings almost scored at the other end. There was puck movement on the far side in the Powell River zone with the net off its moorings, and the whistle never came. And you understand that maybe the official is going to put the net back on its pegs when it goes back up on the ice, but the official kind of just pushed it back into the crease. The Kings almost scored at one end, the Capitals break out 3-on-2 at the other, and then it's blown down. 6:03 remains second period. Face off in front of the Powell River bench on the near side of the ice. Tie up on the face-off. Kings control it. Long circles near side and dumps it in. Rung around towards the far side. Porchetta first to it. Back of the goal. It's just out of the reach of Moran. Near side they battle Boucher and Krogfoss. Comes free for Sidaway, who has some skating room up the near side. Plays it forward for Gauthier. Gauthier fighting off the checks from Finley. In the corner now, Sidaway pinned by Long. Gauthier trying to get away from Finley. Walks off the corner boards, cutting towards the middle. Opens and fires, and he just put it wide. Krogfoss in the corner, tied up by Sidaway. Tote works it towards the point, then backhands it back in deep. Cowichan pressuring here as Gauthier got tripped up back in the goal by Long, and then Sidaway drilled his man Krogfoss, and there's a penalty coming up against Cowichan. Less than 2 seconds after one probably should have been called against the Kings. It's the Capitals that will go short-handed with 5:19 to go in the second. It's an elbowing call against Tanner Sidaway, and Gauthier had gotten tripped up no less than 2 seconds before. And that's what Cowichan's arguing about, but they'll go short-handed once again with 5:19 left in the second period. The hit against Sidaway looked like it may have came more from behind than on the elbow. But what Cowichan's arguing is that there should have been an arm up before that play even happened, with Gauthier being tripped up in behind the net. So the Kings go to the power play and the Capitals to the Valley Carpet, 1 penalty kill. Cowichan clears it right off the face-off. 5 minutes remain here in the second period. Powell River on their third power play of the night. Schmunk chips it into the near corner, battling with Cullen Ferguson. Pins him in the near corner. Ferguson trying to get free. Now it's Rolison. Rolison up the near side boards. Poke check. Moran keeps it alive for the Kings. Into the middle. Long opens up. Moran near side half boards. Into the middle. Back to the point. Long with a shot. Blocked in front. Bouncing around. Schmunk shoots. It's blocked. Ferguson got pulled down. Cowichan can't clear. Moran, far side, Long, one-timer, glove save for Gill. Shots in this period are 12-10 in favor of Cowichan, but it feels like it might even be a little bit more lopsided than that, as the Kings work on a power play for another minute and 17 seconds in the late stages of this second period. Gauthier against Abgral, far side of the ice in the Cowichan zone. One back by Powell River. Finley tied up against the boards on the far side by Boucher. Abgral trying to pull it free. He's able to get it into the far corner for McKay. McKay far half boards Finley. Abgral, far point, near point for Badal. Badal walks towards the circle, shoots, it's blocked and ends up in behind the goal. Boucher tied up, couldn't get it out. Abgral far side, plays it off the glass to himself in the near corner. But all the near side half boards. Works his way into the corner, moves it back to the near point for Pennington. Pennington into the middle, back up top, but all near side, he moves and he shoots. Great block by Micro Giannakis. Gauthier will take off up the near side boards, and he tried to chip in the middle to himself, but Badal took it away. Cowichan will look to squeeze a change in. Here comes Badal with speed. Drop pass far side, Finley in the middle. Pennington, one-timer, fought off. Another chance, sent just wide in front by Abgral. Drop back towards the near corner, and Boucher will slap it all the way down, which is 20 seconds remaining in the Kings power play. 3:30 remains second period. Still 1-0 Powell River on that goal from Ethan Schmunk back in the first period. Foe dumps it in, takes a hit from Lundy. Borgiel plays it towards the far side, but he fanned on it, and Foe takes over. Rowan Miller back of the net. Works his way in towards the far corner. Foe sharp angle, fought off by Borgiel. And the faceoff's going to remain inside, but we're back to 5-on-5 with 3:15 remaining in the second period. Been a much better second period for the Caps, who have had their opportunities. Matt Krasa has had 2 really good looks in the offensive zone for Cowichan in this second period. One of 3 Capitals with 3 goals so far in this series. Schmunk with his goal tonight has 3 for Powell River to lead them. Krasa against Rolison on the far side of the Cowichan zone. Now Miller will come in to take the draw for the Kings. Tie up, one back by Powell River. Garrett taps it down low. Ferguson first to it in behind the net. Up the near side for Wilson. Goes skate to stick across the ice for Chorney. He'll tip it out to center. Rolison looking to work it back in. Got blocked the first time, then he shoots it in. Borgiel leaves it for Ferguson. To his partner Chorney on the far side, up the boards. Lynn will tip it high in the air and down the ice, and that is going to be an icing call against Cowichan. It looked like Lynn was being pressured pretty heavily on the far side, and most times you see it waved off when a defender pinches like that, but This time it's coming back into the Cowichan zone with 2:50 remaining second period. Kings leading 1-0. They also opened the scoring in game 4, but Cowichan would go on to win that game 2-1. Wilson over center, shoots it into the far side. Lynn forechecking with Finley. They battle back of the goal. Wilson has it tied up in his skates. Finley trying to pull it out of the pile. Lynn knocked him off the puck and it bounced right to Ethan Schmunk. Schmunk up the near side for Glazeman, across the ice now for Finley. Played forward, Jacob Paylor-Chow will shoot it in from the Cowichan blue line. Borgil far corner, Micro Giannakis forward, Lynn will slap it off the far boards and all the way back into the Kings zone. Pennington with 2:15 remaining second period through the middle. Here's Schmunk, moves in and shoots. It's bobbled by Borgil, but he'll cover the rebound and hang on to that with 2:12 remaining second period. Cowichan needs to find a way to get some more offensive zone time here in the late stages of the period. They started this frame very well, but Derek Kroll, although he hasn't been busy in terms of quantity, there have been some quality saves that he's made out of the 15 shots that he's faced. At the other end, 28 saves on 29 shots for Zach Borgil, who was leaned on very heavily in the first period of this game 5. Far side draw, Kings win it back. Garrett far point, open, shoots, midsection save. Borgil saw it through traffic and controlled it without a rebound. A win tonight for Cowichan sends them to the second round. A loss means a game 6 tomorrow night in Powell River. If it's necessary, a game 7 will be back here on Monday night. Clark Webster far side, Sidaway cuts around a check, moves in, trying to split defenders, got poke checked, and Pennington finds the puck then, fires it off the glass and all the way down as Barrett goes back. It's an icing call against the Kings with 1:52 left second period. Tanner Sidaway's had a pretty good impact in his first game back into the lineup. It seems like he's had a couple of those rushes where he's maybe a stride, maybe one move away from really breaking free and finding himself with some room and an opportunity. As Webster controls off the face-off win, fired wide off the backboards. McIntyre backhanded it in front, but nobody was home. Now played out to center by the Kings with 1:40 remaining second period. Powell River leading 1-0. Webster retreats far side circle in his own zone, lifts it in the air towards center. It was out of the reach of Brooks, but icing's waved off as Pennington goes back. Pennington stops up, gets away from Brooks near side, cutting back towards the middle far side for Garrett. Garrett back to the near side for Glazeman, who sticks it into the near corner and then tracks it down. Glazeman driven hard into the wall by Boucher, and then Glazeman gives Boucher a cross check right on the backside afterwards. Played back out to center by the Kings. Worked it towards the near side for Long. Jack Long will shoot it into the far corner. Barrett far side. Had it taken away by Rolison last minute here in the second. Rolison wraparound try, stopped by Borgil. Now Long with a shot, blocked by Brooks. Kept alive at the blue line. McIntyre sends it into the middle where it's taken away by Miller. Kings have that extra step right now as Boucher stands up. Glazeman at the Cowichan blue line. Drop back in behind the goal for Barrett. 35 seconds remain second period. Slapped off the far side boards all the way down the ice, and it's going to be an icing call against Cowichan as Barrett thought that, I guess, Gauthier was going to get to it on the far side. It's a fresh unit on the ice for the Caps, but a defensive zone draw with 33 seconds left in the period. Near side face-off in the Cowichan zone as Schmunk will take the face-off out there with Paylor-Chow and Moran. Cote on the draw for the Caps. It's won back cleanly by Powell River. Pennington near point, shoots it down low. Moran back of the goal, stops up. He takes a hit from Boucher, gets worked over in behind the net. Cote rings it near side. It's out of the reach of everybody. And this will be an icing call against Cowichan as Schmunk goes back with 18 seconds to go in the second. Another near side face-off. Late stages, second period. Kings leading 1-0. Ethan Schmunk at 6:05 in the first period with the lone goal in this one. Caps win the draw. Barrett retreats in behind his own net. Now takes off up the far side of the ice. Cuts around Glazman. Near side, he's tripped up and pulled down from behind, but he might have collided with the guys laying on the ice in neutral ice. Played out to center. Boucher near side for Sidaway. Long shot into the glove of Krall, who throws it into the near corner, and that'll do it for the second period. So no scoring in that second period. It's just the goal from Schmunk in the first. And the Kings have a 1-0 lead going to the third period, and a heavy shot advantage thanks to a dominant first period by Powell River. Cowichan did a pretty good job of pushing back in that second period, but they still need to find a way to break through on Derek Krall, who hasn't been tested a ton numbers-wise. He stopped all 16 shots that he's faced. Matt Grass has had a couple of really good opportunities in this game and been unable to finish so far. We'll take a break. Second intermission coming up. Cowichan trailing 1-0 here in Game 5. You're listening to Capitals Hockey on 89.7 Juice FM, presented by Discovery Honda. Welcome back inside the Cowichan Community Center. I'm Justice Doucette, getting set to start the third period here between the Capitals and Powell River Kings in Game 5 of this Island Division semifinal series. It is the Kings leading the game 1-0. Ethan Schmunk scoring at 6:05 of the first period, his third goal of the series. Levi Glazman with the only assist on that goal as well to make it 1-0. Kings outshot Cowichan 17-3 in that first period. They started the game with a 5-minute major power play. Cowichan was able to kill it off, but the next shift after, Schmunk made it 1-0, and that's our lone goal of the game. Shots in the second, 13 apiece. If the Kings win tonight, it means Game 6 tomorrow night in Powell River. If the Capitals win tonight, it's done like dinner and on to the second round for Cowichan. Caps will attack from right to left in this third period, rather left to right. Their white uniforms, blue and red trim. Kings are right to left in the road greens, yellow, black, and white trim. Cote will face off against Schmunk, who's out there with Taylor Chow and Glazman, Cote, Gauthier, and Sidaway. Caps win the draw. It's Micro Giannakis near forward as Gauthier dumps it back into the Kings zone. Forechecking on Schmunk. They tie up in behind the goal. Dug free by Finley. Finley takes off near side, fires it across the ice for Glazman. Skate the sticks, tries to step into the zone, takes a check from Boucher. Now Micro Giannakis bodies with Taylor Chows. It's swung into the middle and cut off by Tyrell Boucher. Boucher stick handles around Schmunk and then plays it softly in on the backhand. Gauthier forechecking, takes a hit from Jack Long in the back of the goal. Long works it through the middle for Schmunk. Up the near side for Taylor Chow. Swings it in the middle looking for Glazman, just out of his reach and dumped in deep. Ferguson ties up with Glazman, who kicks it in the middle. Rollison open to shoot. Another opportunity, and he fired it wide. First chance was fanned on. A great play there by Glazman to set up Brett Rollison. Rollison in the middle, broken up by Cote, who took a strong shoulder from Pennington. Pennington down the wall on the cycle, cut away by Ferguson, who lifted it out to center. Pennington took it right back, lost it to Primo Self. Self across the ice for Sidaway. He got a hand on it by the looks of it, or maybe not. And it's an icing call coming back into the Cowichan zone. It sure looked like Sidaway might have got the tip of his finger on that, but it comes back into Cowichan's territory with 1:08 gone in the third period. Rollison will take the draw against McIntyre. Off the tie-up, Cowichan comes away with it, and Cullen Ferguson's got some room to skate. Ferguson looking through the middle, banks it back into the Kings zone, out of the reach of Finley. Icing is waved off. Self went crashing into the end boards. Finley from his backside moves it up the wall for Bedall. Here's a turnover. Brooks moves in. He shoots off the stick of Finley and over top of the goal. Just took a blink of an eye too long, and it was deflected away. Barrett shoots, blocked by Bedall. Knocked down just inside the blue line, and then Bedall lifts it out towards center. Backing up, it lands for Moran. Moran, far side, tried to center, broken up by Barrett. Here's Nolan Barrett, cuts back towards the middle, kicks it forward. He got hooked up pretty well, and there's a check from McIntyre, stood up by Porchetta. Here's Lynn back into the Kings zone with speed. Backhand chance fought off by Krall, and then Lynn went crashing into the net. And the faceoff's going to remain inside the offensive zone. What an opportunity there for Zach Brooks, but he just took too long to let it go. Made a move, faked the shot, tried to go back to the forehand, and Finley with that long reach able to break it up. Far side draw coming up in the Kings zone. Caps go with Wilson, Krasa, and Lynn. Shorty and Ferguson. Cowichan's had their chances in this game, but Kral's been really good. Here's Garrett looking to break it out for the Kings, flips it up towards center. Porchetta chops it past Chorney, and Ferguson's forced back in behind his own net, wrapped up in the wall by Rowan Miller. Wilson far side, leaves it on a tee for Krasa. 3-on-3, Krasa lifts it through the middle, gets the bouncing puck back, he shoots it, sticked away by Kral. Didn't get a ton on the shot, but directed it towards net nonetheless. Up the far side boards, Miller spins back in his own zone, had a pass hit the stick of Wilson, who then dug it free away from Kral. Krasa near side works it down the boards. He draws a penalty. Chorney near side keeps it in. And now there's a penalty coming up against Cowichan by the looks as well. I don't understand where that second one came from. The official inside the Powell River zone had a call coming up against the Kings. And then as there was a penalty waiting to be called, a slashing penalty against Krasa. Kings think they're going to the power play here, but that's not the case. It's one guy going off from each side. We'll see on the replay what happened there. Krasa was held up by Porchetta as he works back down the near side boards. Porgil has started to make his way towards the bench. So it's pretty clear to see when the holding penalty comes. And Krasa did give Porchetta a pretty good whack away from the play, so that takes Cowichan off the power play. We'll continue to play at 5-on-5. Near side on the face-off, it's stuck in skates. Pennington pulls it free, moves it up the far boards. McKay will chip it softly back into the Cowichan zone. Micro Giannakis rings it around hard near side. Pennington drilled Gauthier without the puck as it goes past him and all the way down the ice. Icing is waved off. Schmunk back in the net, far side for Kern. Up the boards, McKay tips it back into the Cowichan end. And this is going to be an icing call, and McKay looked like he was very close to center. And Boucher was very close to getting back to it in the goal line, so maybe a bit of a break there for Cowichan as it comes back into the Kings zone. .17:02 remains third period. Cowichan trailing 1-0. Had some pretty good chances in this period. The best one from Zach Brooks, but his shot was partially blocked. Draw ends up in the far corner. Ian Kern pulls it free. Pennington had it bounce away from him to the side of the goal, and then Kral covers as Wilson tries to jar it loose, but an odd-looking pass there bounced off the skates of Pennington and ended up right in the front of the net area where Kral will lunge on it and cover up. Ethan Schmunk with his third goal of the playoffs, the only marker here through a little more than 43 minutes of hockey. The Kings lead 1-0. Cowichan wins the draw. Lynn near point looking for Chorney. It was out of his reach and forces Cowichan back towards center. Dump back in by Chorney. Finley towards Long on the D-to-D pass. Through the middle for Rollison. Far side Moran drops it back. Long forward. Rollison had it bounce off his skate, but he regathers and plays it to himself on the near side of the Cowichan zone. Took a hard hit from Chorney, who now grabs the puck on the Cowichan side. Chorney up the far side, protecting it from Moran. Dumped back in by Wilson. Hustling after it in the near corner, Finley moves it D-to-D on the ring around it. Got past Wilson, and Moran turns it up the ice. Moran over center, sends it in. It's going to be a lot of chip and chase here for the Kings, you'd think, in this third period. And they've done a much better job of winning races back into their own zone after Cowichan dump-ins than they did in Game 4. Wilson's dump-in was knocked down. Ferguson chips it back of the goal. Garrett rings it around near side. Barrett will keep it in. It ends up on the near half boards. Poke back to the point. Barrett again will shoot, and that one's right into the catching glove of Kral as Cowichan was working through a change and had nobody near the front of the net area. We have face-off on the near side corner of the Powell River zone. McIntyre, Brooks, and Self, one of the lines that has had a bunch of chances for Cowichan in this game. Abgraw will take the face-off for the Kings, and he wins it back cleanly. Pennington back of the goal towards the far side, rings it off the glass and out to center. Miller tied up by Webster as it's banked back into the zone, and Sidaway kept it onside somehow. Self flips it towards the goal and it's blockered away. Kings bench was up in arms thinking that was offside, but play continues. Near side, Primo Self drops it off on the cycle for McIntyre. It bounced away from him and Kern takes over. Far side banked out towards center for Miller. Lost it to McIntyre up the far side for Brooks. Across the ice for Self, and that one bounced on its edge and jumped back out to neutral ice, so the Caps have to tag up. Far side, Brooks back in over the Powell River line, got tied up and was forced back out to neutral ice and spins and dumps it in with 5 minutes gone in the third. Kings leading 1-0. They need a win to keep their season alive. Cowichan with a win would wrap up this series. Far side of Webster, back towards the far point, long with a drive, and it rolled end over end wide of the net. Finley down low, Glazeman back of the goal into the far corner. Centering pass broken up by Webster. It ends up on the lap of Long, whose backhand shot was patted away by Borgil. Long trying to center, Glazeman from a sharp angle, jabbed it wide of the net, and it's rung down the ice by the Capitals. This is going to go all the way down the ice, but it's not going to be icing for some reason, and the Kings don't understand why, and I don't really blame them. Far side, Long in the corner, forecheck by Sidaway. Schmunk ties up with Gauthier, play towards the near side point. Micro Giannakis pinches, he shoots, it's tipped up and out of play. And we'll see who they say that hit off of. Still nothing from any of the officials. I think it may remain inside the Kings zone. Both of the earlier penalized players, Matt Krasa and Nick Porchetta, exit the penalty box. One shot so far here in the third for the Kings. 5 at the other end for Cowichan as they continue to try and push back. Draws one by the Caps. Lynn pinned against the far corner boards. Krasa in there as well, trying to escape, tied up by Rolison. And now Moran takes off up the ice. Riley Moran plays it into the far corner for Brett Foe. Foe tied up by Chorney. He got pulled down in behind the net. Play is going to continue with Foe on top of the puck. They slide all the way towards the near side corner area. Dug free by Rolison, knocked off his skates by Wilson. Now they go hard into the far side corner boards. Wilson comes free with it, trying to fight off the forecheck of Foe. Slips it up the wall on the far side to himself, then takes a hit from 2 Kings, and play continues. Now Wilson wrapping up with Foe, and there's a penalty call coming up against Cowichan as Wilson lost his cool over there on the far side and gave Brett Foe a couple of extra shots, and the Kings will go on the power play on a very undisciplined penalty by Wilson with 13:35 to go in the third. Not exactly sure what Wilson was unhappy with in the far side corner, but he didn't like something and took out his frustrations on Brett Foe, and the Capitals, who have time working against them, will have to kill off the next 2 minutes. Kings win the draw. Abgraw near corner. Back of the goal for McKay. Near side half boards for Finley. In the middle, Abgraw back to Finley near side. Pennington near point. He shoots off a stick and just wide of the goal. That one almost found the far side corner right along the ice. But all wraps up. Micro Giannakis in the far corner. Now near side, Cote has some space to move with it. Banks it off the boards, and it's all the way down the ice. Crawl leaves it in behind the goal. 13 minutes left in the third. Caps trailing 1-0, killing off a penalty for the next minute 20. Here's Levi Glazeman with some speed, trying to get past Webster. He moves it and shoots, and Webster blocked it. But all far corner, back of the net area for Glazeman. Glazeman surveys near side for Finley. It bounces away from him to the line, not out. Pennington long shot it, hit Finley in front. Lundy skates into it far side. Cowichan tries to push here. Lundy curls and drags and shoots off a stick and wide. Now Lundy gets it back, works it up the far side boards, tried to center. It's cut off by Badal. Here's Badal near side into the Cowichan zone, circles of the near top circle. opens up, trying to curl and drag, getting into the middle, but all can't get a shot away. Poke check by Lundy, and he'll play it all the way down. Great stick work there from John Lundy to break up that opportunity. Long from out from behind his own net, 30 seconds left in the Cowichan penalty as Long got knocked into the wall. He dropped it for Rolison, near side, extra feed. Cote banks it off the boards and out to center. Long takes it slowly in behind his own net. Completely restarts the breakout as standing up in the box now is Luke Wilson. Long again circles in behind his own net. Crawl tapping his stick. And we're back to 5-on-5. Long up the near side. Porchetta blew a tire. Here comes Lynn. He's got Wilson with him. Lynn trying to drive wide. Takes it in front and had his shot blocked. Lynn far side. Works towards the point. Cycles it down low. Boucher in front. Tipped wide by Krasa. Porchetta in the near corner. Takes a hit from Krasa. Now centering pass broken up. Porchetta another opportunity to clear. Takes a hit from Lynn. And he moves it out towards center. Abgral tied up by Wilson. Micro Giannakis across the ice for Boucher. Forward for Wilson, hands it off for Krasa, moves in, centering pass off a stick and then the post, and then Krasa got tripped up by Kern, and play's gonna continue. Far side, Miller sends it in deep. Krasa with a great opportunity there, but he didn't want to shoot it, and his pass hit the sliding Kings defender and just went wide. Boucher up the far wall for Brooks to tip it in, less than 11 minutes to go in the third. 1-0 Powell River. Far side self jabs it back into the near corner. Pennington hustling after it. McIntyre as well. Schmunk back in the net, trying to reverse. Leaves it for Pennington up the near side boards. Barrett keeps it alive. McIntyre looking for Barrett, broken up by Badal, but he couldn't clear it. Barrett into the middle, long shot off a skate and wide. Self far side, tried to spin off a check, but he fanned on his pass back to the point, and here come the Kings 2-on-2. But all near side, Taylor Chow couldn't hold the line, and it's offside against Powell River with 10:15 left in the third. Cowichan's had a bunch of great opportunities in this game, but like we saw on that chance from Krasa, they've rarely gotten shots on goal out of them. Trailing by one here in a playoff game, why not put that puck towards the net? Yes, Brooks with the chance earlier on in this third period had a shot blocked. Krasa tipped one wide in the second out of midair, and Cowichan has had the opportunities in this game, but just have not gotten enough shots towards net, and Derek Kral has stopped the opportunities that he's seen with 21 saves. Cote wins the draw back for Micro Giannakis. Boucher into the middle back for Micro Giannakis as we cross over the midway point of this third period. Micro Giannakis into the King zone, moves and he shoots, pad save, and then Micro Giannakis ran over Kral. He's getting mugged by Long in the Powell River net. It was tough to see if Micro Giannakis got pushed in or not, but now some pushing and shoving inside the Kings net. There was not a penalty call coming up on the play as Micro Giannakis took it to the net. Kral waves away the Powell River trader, Braden Bian. Micro Giannakis had plenty of speed working it down the near side boards, took it towards the net, fired a shot that Kral kicked away, and then contact was made with the Powell River netminder, and we're going to step aside with 9:58 remaining in the third. You're listening to Capitals Hockey on 89.7 Juice FM, presented by Discovery Honda. Gauthier shoots it, he just put it wide on the glove hand side on the drop pass from Boucher. Microgiannakis keeps it in, 9:40 remains in the third. Cowichan trailing 1-0. Glazeman looking to spin away from Sidaway. Sidaway tied him up, but Glazeman's flip pass was broken up, then poked back into the Kings zone. Rollison will move it towards center. Glazeman takes a hard hit from Cote as he dumps it in. Boucher up the far side, Sidaway with a burst of speed into the Kings zone. Moves in, stops up in the far corner, long sticks right with him. Sidaway pinned at the far side, half boards back to the point. Microgiannakis trying to walk the line, had it broken up, but he gets it right back just shy of center. Sidestepped one check, left it behind. Krasa slaps it off a skate and in deep. Long picks it up in behind the Kings net. 1-0 Powell River with 9 minutes to go in the third. Kings trying to extend their season. Cowichan trying to wrap it up. Porchetta swings it wide of the net in behind the goal. Miller got tied up. Now Miller trying to center, broken up by Ferguson. Near side corner, Austin Chorney up the boards, wrapped up and held by Abgral, but play's going to continue. Then Chorney got tripped up at center, and play again continues. Borgill leaves it in behind the net for Cullen Ferguson. Over center with speed, steps into the Powell River zone. Stops up, trying to spin away from Long in the corner, kicks it in behind the goal for Brady Lynn. Lynn looking to leave it for Wilson on the cycle, rings it around towards the near point. Chorney slaps it back down low. Wilson still being watched by Pennington. Works it around the back of the goal, trying to curl it in front, got tied up and pushed into the net, sending it off its moorings. So another offensive zone draw here coming up for Cowichan with some pushing and shoving between Moran and Krasa on the far side of the ice. Kings have done an excellent job in this game of keeping Cowichan to the outside when they're in the offensive zone. And when Cowichan does get to the inside, they've done a great job of blocking shots as well. Ethan Schmunk with a goal, 6:05 into the hockey game, and we haven't seen one since as Powell River leads 1-0. Winner of this series will take on the Nanaimo Clippers in round 2, which would start a week from tonight. It'll be McIntyre against Rollison on the face-off in the far side of the Kings zone. Draws one by Cowichan. Boucher steps down the far boards. He shoots, bobbled by Krall. Self takes a stick up high, and there's a penalty coming up against the Kings. Cowichan will go to the power play. It'll be a high sticking call against Ian Kern. And the Caps will get an opportunity on the man advantage with 8:01 left in the third. Fans trying to urge their team on here, hoping to tie the game in the latter half of this third period. Cowichan will roll out Wilson, Krasa, Self, Gauthier, and Microgiannakis. And the Kings sent a unit back to their bench, and now the officials telling them to get on the ice. 8:01 remains in the third. This is the chance that Cowichan's been looking for, trying to tie this game. Draws one by Powell River, but it's kept in at the far point by Gauthier. Then his shot blocked by Miller, who had some great hustle to force it out to center. Inside 8 minutes left in the third. Cowichan trailing 1-0 on the power play with Kern in the box for high sticking. Wilson near side Krasa, extra feed for Self. Across the ice, here's Olivier Gauthier. Gauthier moves in, centers, tip towards the goal, and still no signal, and now it's thrown down. The red light went on in behind the goal. The signal, no goal from the official in behind the net. Still some pushing and shoving. The red light is on behind the Powell River net. Officials will talk about this. Krasa was in behind Krall, who's now shoving with Gauthier. Capitals thought that puck was in. Red light was on in behind the net, and the official is pointing to the face-off coming outside. Cowichan celebrating. But I don't think this one's going to count. Mike Vandekamp getting the explanation from the official that was standing in behind the Kings net. Caps were celebrating, red light went on, but clearly from the official's explanation, that puck did not cross the line. Mike Vandekamp doesn't like the explanation on the Cowichan bench, but the power play will continue for 1 minute and 33 seconds. Great opportunity for Cowichan. They remain on the power play here. Kings win the draw, can't clear. Krasa near point, Micro Giannakis, and now there's some pizza boxes on the ice on the far side. Not exactly sure where those came from, but that's going to stop play with 1:26 left in the man advantage after Cowichan had set up on the power play.
There was no goal as the puck did not cross the line.
So there's the announcement in arena, and of course, clearly the fans not exactly thrilled with it. Power play for another 1 minute and 26 seconds. And now the face-off looks like it's going to come out to neutral ice. Mike Vandekamp wants the clock stopped for 7 seconds. The face-off is going to come out to neutral ice, so the Capitals do lose the offensive zone face-off here with 7:27 to go in the third. Looked like they might have tied the game, but it's waved off. And the face-off will be out to neutral ice. And I'm not sure if they're going to hold the clock at all either. Off the draw, the Kings control it and play it out to the Cowichan blue line where Micro Giannakis knocked it down, so they did not turn the time back onto the clock or give Cowichan an offensive zone draw. Gauthier in the middle, Micro Giannakis shoots it, was fanned on and then covered up by Kral with 1:10 now to go in the power play. 7:10 left in the third period. Just one shot on net here in the third for Powell Rivers. Similar to Wednesday night, the Caps have controlled the third. They were able to break through with Krasa's game winner in the third period on Wednesday. Can they do the same here tonight, or will we be playing in Powell River tomorrow night? Caps win the draw. Near point, Micro Giannakis. Wrist shot blocker saved by Kral. Now Gauthier steers towards the net. It hit Finley in front of the net. He'll try to clear. Moran far side tied up. Cowichan keeps it alive. Wilson spins, dumps it back in deep. Pennington near side gets the opportunity to clear. Shoots it through the middle. Gauthier knocked it down and kept it in. His long shot bounces wide. Wilson far side, 40 seconds to go in the power play. Wilson towards the middle of the ice. Curls and drags near top circle, hands it off for Self. Self moves in, slides towards the side of the goal, broken up by Finley. Wilson near corner. In the middle, Krasa one-timer, sticked away by Kral. Krasa gets his own rebound back, flips it towards the near side, but nobody was home, and the Kings will clear, and that'll all but do it for this Cowichan power play with 6:20 remaining in the third. Micro Giannakis in behind his own net, far side up the boards for McIntyre. Across the ice, it's tipped into the Kings zone for Lynn. Lynn shoots and he put it wide. Kral knocked the net off its moorings. Official is going to push it right back onto it, so play can continue. But now out of the box is Kern. We're back to 5-on-5 with inside 6 minutes left. Brooks, poke check by Schmunk, trying to work his way in. Far side, Ethan Schmunk shoots and it's partially blocked. Now Barrett ties his man up in the corner. Cote takes off up the ice. Saucer pass towards center was out of the reach of Brooks. Garrett far side for Long, off the glass and all the way back down into the Cowichan zone. Time not the friend of Cowichan here with inside 5.5 minutes left, trailing 1-0 in game 5. Tipped in by McIntyre, and it's an icing call against Cowichan. It sure looks like McIntyre got a stick on it right at center, but it's coming back into the defensive zone with less than 5:30 to go. Face off back into the near side corner of the Cowichan zone. Tied up, stuck in skates. Kings trying to dig it free. A spinning shot from Badal went wide. McKay back in the net, took a hit from Barrett as it's played back towards the far point. Kern keeps it alive. Now spinning and shooting is Badal. That was blocked as well. Boucher uses the glass to move it towards center. Pennington had it bounce through his legs. It's collected now by Kern. Kern across the ice far side for McKay. Dumps it in deep into the Cowichan zone. Less than 5 minutes to go. Barrett across the ice for Krasa. Couldn't handle the pass. Long looking to clear. Got it not out. Ferguson kept it in, but now another opportunity by the Kings is flipped down the ice. Not enough for icing. Near side, Nolan Barrett spins off a check in his own zone. Across the ice for Ferguson. Ferguson fires a wrist shot up the boards far side that Sidaway couldn't get a piece of. And it's an icing call back into the Cowichan zone without 4:30 left in the game. Kings win the draw, but Long can't knock it down, and it bounces out to center. Cowichan will work through a change, trying to push here. 4:20 left in the third. Caps trailing 1-0. Barrett fights off the forecheck of Riley Moran. Here's Primo Self. Up the far boards for Sidaway. Sidaway trying to center, looking for McIntyre, just tipped away. Sidaway back of the goal, far corner now. Leaves it for Primo Self. Centered it in front, it hit the skates of McIntyre, and he got tied up along the near side. Back towards the line, Rollison skates into it inside. 4 minutes to go. Near side for Moran. Moran cuts to the middle, trying to walk around Chorney. Centered it, and Rollison couldn't get a stick on it in front. Sidaway unable to clear. Rollison dumps it back in. He'll start a line change for his team. 3:40 remains third period. Cowichan trailing 1-0. Sidaway steps into the Powell River zone, dumps it in deep, going after Schmunk. Bumps him into the end boards. Schmunk now battles with McIntyre, shoveled up the wall. Self battles with McKay. Collected by Lynn. Pounded back down low for McIntyre in the far corner. Cycle down low, Cullen Ferguson reverses and centers, but nobody in front for the Caps. But all far side, couldn't get it past Wilson. Kept alive in the far corner. Wilson, midpoint, Micro Giannakis, and it just hopped over his stick. 3:05 left in the third. Lynn in his own zone, hands it off for Micro Giannakis. We will keep an eye on Zach Borgil in the Cowichan net. Micro Giannakis cutting back towards the near side, leaves it for Boucher. Boucher over center, skates it into the Kings zone, chips it to himself in the corner, rings it around towards the near side for Brady Lynn. Lynn into the corner for Krasa, trying to avoid a double team. Finley has it against the boards, trying to bank it up for Miller. Miller into the middle, had his pass broken up, but it comes to Pennington with 2:30 to go. He's over center and dumps it in deep. Boucher up the far boards for Wilson. Cuts to the middle around Glazeman, leaves it for Krasa. Here's Krasa, near side for Lynn. Slap shot, blocker saved by Krall. Collected on the far side by Glazeman, he's tied up by Wilson. Glazeman trying to force it up the far side boards. Rollison got it to the line, but not out. Flip back in deep. Cowichan will peel away and change. Now 2 minutes left in the third period. Long up the near side boards for Miller, cutting back towards the middle, hands it off into the far corner of his own zone. Back through the middle, it's Brett Rollison. Rollison over the Cowichan line towards the near side, shoots, and he put it wide. Far side for Brooks. Brooks across the ice near side for Primo Self. Into the Kings zone. Self shoots, stopped in the rebound, just bounced out of the reach of Brooks. Collected far side by Glazeman. 1:30 left in the third. Glazeman opens up and shoots. It's off a stick and out of play in behind the Cowichan net with 1:31 left in the third period. Both teams do still have their timeouts. It's pretty simple. If Cowichan doesn't score, we're going to Powell River tomorrow night for Game 6. And the Kings there would have a chance to win at home and force a Game 7 back here in Duncan on Monday. Cote, Gauthier, and Lynn to take the draw for the Capitals. Schmunk there for the Kings. Again, we'll keep an eye on Borgiel. Kings win the draw. Glazman knocked off at far side by Barrett. Near side collected by Lynn in his own end. Back through the middle for Webster. Webster up the far side. Gauthier tips it in. Crawl out of his net to play it. Leaves it at the back of the goal for Schmunk. Near side for Abgral. Retreats back in his own zone. Put it off the skates of Lynn. Schmunk trying to clear. Banks it down the ice. This is going to be an icing. Kings trying to change. Won't be able to. And with 1:06 left in the third, it's an icing call against Powell River. And Zach Borgiel is going to come to the bench. We'll see if either team decides to use a timeout here. Still some words between Lynn and Pennington in the near side. Doesn't look like either team is going to use a timeout, or they're playing cat and mouse to see who's going to use theirs. Derek Krall's come all the way back to the Powell River bench, but nobody's used a timeout, so finally now the officials force the Kings back into the defensive zone, and now Cowichan will roll out their 6. It's Lynn, Krasa, Wilson, Self, Microgiannakis, and Boucher. Lynn will take the draw on the near side against Schmunk. 1:06 to go, Cowichan trailing 1-0. Scramble face-off ends up in skates. Lynn trying to pitch it towards the goal. It's broken up by Pennington. Pennington near side, gets towards center. He shoots. It's blocked by Microgiannakis. He'll take it in behind his own net. Up the near side for Self. 50 seconds left in the third. Here's Primo Self across the ice for Boucher in the far corner. Self rings it around, gets the ring around near side. It bounces in the air for Krasa. Near side point, Microgiannakis. Back to Krasa. Near circle, he shoots. With 37 seconds left, ties the game for Cowichan. Walking off the near side top circle, the curl and drag, and he beats the screen crawl over the glove, and the game is tied. Krasa's 4th of the playoffs, after scoring 25 during the regular season, has tied the game. Sidaway's tip in, knocked out, and then Gauthier fires it in deep. Krall will hand it off in the back of the goal for Pennington. Of course, the game not over yet. Pennington watched in behind his own net by Sidaway. Jack Long up the far side. The pass hits Cote, and Boucher has to hustle back into the far corner. Boucher up the far boards, gets it out to center, and back into the Powell River zone. Pennington will take it in behind his own net, and we are going to overtime. Matt Krasa ties the game at 19:23 with the goaltender out, and the Capitals force an extra session here in Game 5 on home ice. Cowichan won the forechecking battle down low. It was kept in at the near point by Microgiannakis. And Krasa is a right-handed shot curling off the near side top circle. Snaps it over the glove of Krall. His 4th of the playoffs, makes it 1-1 and sends us for the second time this series to overtime. We'll take a break. Full intermission, full 5-on-5, full 20 minutes. It's playoff overtime coming up after this. You're listening to Capitals Hockey on 89.7 Juice FM, presented by Discovery Honda.
Cowichan Capitals play-by-play, live from the rink to the radio. This is Overtime on 89.7 Juice FM.
Welcome back inside the Cowichan Community Center. I'm Justice Doucette. Overtime here in Game 5, Capitals and Kings. We play 5-on-5. We play 20 minutes, and we play until we get a winner. Jack Long back of the goal, poke check by Gauthier. Near side corner, near point Boucher, across the ice, Micro Giannakis shoots, it's blocked by Badal. Badal back through the middle, here's Levi Glazeman for the Kings, back into the Cowichan zone. Glazeman opens up and shoots, and he fired it wide. Bounces off the far glass all the way out to center. Near side Pennington on the D-to-D give in the Kings zone. Rollison through the middle out of his own end. Stops up, fires across the ice for Badal, 2-on-2 with Moran. Badal holds up, circles back at the far side, half boards. Looking to spin it in deep, got tied up by Primo Self. He's able to lift it into the corner, and Micro Giannakis takes over for Cowichan. He'll use the glass on the near side as it bounces out to center for Pennington. Pennington trying to split checks, lost it. Here's McIntyre and Brooks. McIntyre shoots, and it's blocked by Garrett and deflected over top of the net. What a great defensive play there by Garrett. Brooks walking into the middle, drops it off, near side point for Cullen Ferguson. He'll shoot, it's tipped wide by McIntyre. Brooks trying to center, put it off the side of goal. Another chance, he steered it off the stick of crawling wide. Pennington near side will backhand it down the ice. Chorney knocks it down. Kings forechecking, it's batted towards the line. Here's McIntyre again, trying to center, broken up again. This time it's Finley with a great defensive play. Chorney far point shoots, it's off a stick and in behind the net. McIntyre tracks it down in the near corner. Dan McIntyre off the cycle looking for Brooks. Finley takes over, he gets stapled by Brooks. Lynn near side, far point, here's Chorney, shoots, and a great block by Paylor Chow. It ends up in the far corner. Lynn up the boards for Krasa. Krasa, steps off the wall, cutting towards the middle. Wilson, Chorney in the middle. Far side up top for Lynn, down into the corner for Wilson. Wilson walks up the far side, boards towards the middle, lets it go, it's blocked by Garrett. Wilson gets it back, winds, fires it, hit Lynn in front of the goal. Krasa far corner, down low for Lynn, tied up by Finley. Wilson pokes it free, trying to dig it out of the corner. Capitals working through a change. Wilson pulls it free. Lynn near side, back towards the point. Ferguson back in deep for Wilson, back of the goal, tied up. Barrett pinches in far side. Plays it back into the corner, but Cowichan needs a change. Rollison far side, poke check by Lynn. Cote stole it. Cote walks towards the middle. Here's Cruz Cote, he shoots, it's over top of the net. Far side, Paylor Chow an opportunity to clear, couldn't get it out as it's pounded back in behind the net, and it bounces off the end boards for Kral. He'll get a coverage and a much needed stoppage in play for the Kings. 2:52 gone in overtime, couple of good chances there for Cowichan. It's Sidaway, Cote, and Gauthier, but all Glazeman and Schmunk with Long and Pennington. Cote wins the draw. Micro Giannakis shoots it, didn't get through. Ends up in the far corner. Cote tied up, trying to work it around the back of the goal. Gauthier tied up, Long towards Schmunk. Up the near side boards for Glazeman. Fires it down the ice far side, not enough for icing, or it is not enough for icing as Micro Giannakis stretched trying to get the whistle. Boucher rings it around far side. Cowichan in a little bit of trouble here, maybe on the breakout. Sidaway lost it to Glazeman, knocked him off his skates. It's shoveled up the wall by Micro Giannakis. Near side, he'll slide it back to Boucher in front of the Kings bench. Boucher over center, dumps it in far side. Sidaway forechecks, the rest of the Caps change. Near side Long, up the boards, past Glazeman. Self leaves it for Ferguson, who dumps it right back in to the Kings zone. Pennington in behind his own net. Fires it up the far side, boards knocked down by McIntyre. McIntyre moves in, center, Self denied by Kral. What a glove save. He couldn't catch it, but he fought it off. Self got tied up, it's banked out to center. That shot pass redirection chance for Self there, the best of overtime. 4 minutes gone in the extra session. Kral with it in behind the net. Pennington slaps it back in behind the goal for Jack Long. Kings 20-year-old captain. Watched by McIntyre from out front of the net. Hill back away and changes. It's fired forward for Abral, tipped by him. On goal for Borgil, who will cover up and stop play with 15:41 left in overtime. What an opportunity for Primo Self. Shot from the far side point, redirected off the backhand of the Capitals number 9, and Kral waving that left arm, able to keep it out. Far side face-off in the Cowichan zone. Cote still out there to take it. Abgral tried to go forward with it. Cote broke it up and steered it towards Gauthier. Gauthier gets to center, plays it in deep and chases after it. First to it in behind the Kings goal, kicks it free, cut off by Sidaway. Drops it off for Webster at the far point. Webster again in behind the goal. Gauthier trying to track it down in the near corner. Olivier Gauthier for Cruz. Cote off the cycle. Cote gets away from Finley around the back of the goal, trying to center, got broken up. Now Sidaway far corner off the cycle. Leaves it for Cote. He'll shoot. It's blocked by Finley. Webster, a chance was blocked. Now here's Sidaway near side. He shoots up. Rebound. Stopped by Crawl. What a save by Crawl. Webster collects far point. Near point Ferguson. He shoots up. Rebound. In behind. Capitals celebrate, but it's waved off. That's the second time Cowichan thinks they've scored in the game. No red light. The official turned in behind towards the operator at the back of the goal. And they both shook their head and said no. What a couple of opportunities for Cowichan to end the game. It looked like when Crawl got up, the puck was behind him, but obvious question was, did the whistle blow? Was there intent to blow the whistle? And did Crawl get pushed into the net? But we'll play on. Two chances waved off for Cowichan in this game. The first one in the third period. That one here in overtime. And now we're going to get a timeout from Powell River as Tyler Kuntz tries to settle his team down. 5:08 into overtime. We'll keep it right here. Cowichan absolutely flying in this overtime period. They've got 7 shots on goal to Powell River's 1, but it takes just 1 shot to end the game. And the Kings could easily go up the ice and win it. Cowichan's had so many chances here in overtime. That one waved off just moments ago. Gauthier had a great chance seconds prior, and then Primo Self with the shot that was redirected and fought off by Crawl. Even a couple of 2-on-1s which were broken up by great defensive plays. First by PJ Garrett, second by Dylan Finley. After getting outshot 17-3 in the first period, Cowichan's now even the shot clock at 33. Off the face-off, it is the Kings that take over. Jack Long far side lifts it high in the air, it hits a stanchion. Gauthier gloves it down and got checked. Garrett off the far side boards again, taken away by Gauthier. Midpoint, Micro Giannakis, he shoots it, hits something in front. Now Sidaway trying to dig it free. Cote for Sidaway. Now Moran trying to clear, taken away again by Cowichan. Cote tied up, goes with Garrett into the near corner. Rollison has it for the Kings. Up the far boards, it's out of the reach of Glazeman. Micro Giannakis quickly for Cote, but he couldn't handle the pass, and the Kings take back over, and then Cowichan makes a bad change. Here comes Moran. Rollison shoots, it's blocked. Ends up in the far corner. Here's Krasa turning up ice. 4-on-2 come the Capitals. Wilson shoots, a shoulder save by Crawl. Lynn near side trying to track it down on the near boards. Krasa in the middle, steps around a check and just couldn't break free. Then he got tied up. There's a penalty coming up against the Kings, and Cowichan's going to get a power play in overtime. Matt Krasa with the cut to the middle, the move towards the slot. Kern pulled him down from behind, and Cowichan will get a power play chance a little more than 6 minutes into overtime. It's a 4-minute penalty as well on the clock. We'll see if that gets adjusted. And it doesn't look like it's going to, so maybe a high stick. What an opportunity here for the Caps. It's a 4-minute penalty. Gauthier wins the draw, far point, Micro Giannakis. Self in front, Gauthier is blocked. Rollison trying to clear, he gets it all the way down. That one took a bite out of Jack Long as the Kings clear. He'll hustle back to the Powell River bench. Great opportunity here for Cowichan to win the series. Self over the Powell River line. Here's Wilson in the middle, cuts around a check, shoots, it's blocked, another chance, goal! Good morning, good afternoon, good night, see you all week from tonight. Luke Wilson wins the game, and the Capitals are off to the second round. Seconds into the power play, it's the hometown kid sending Cowichan to the Island Division Finals. What a game, what a series, and the Capitals are moving on. Wilson cutting to the middle, had his first opportunity blocked, his second opportunity finds the back of the net, and the Capitals, in front of a packed house in Duncan, will punch their ticket to the second round of the BCHL playoffs. The teams will shake hands at center ice, and the unfortunate part of junior hockey is that this signals the end of a couple great Junior A and BCHL careers. Tonight marks the end of the BCHL careers of Derek Kroll, Levi Glazeman, and Jack Long for Powell River, all three of which had tremendous BCHL careers. Glazeman lit it up for a couple of years between Trail and here. Kroll started his career in Penticton, came over here for his 20-year-old season, and Jack Long, a Powell River native, who played more than 200 games with his hometown team. And the Capitals gather inside their own defensive blue line. For once the handshakes wrap up, the sticks will go up here at center ice, and the Capitals will be on to Nanaimo for round 2 of the BCHL playoffs. Wilson wins the game 6 minutes and 34 seconds into overtime, and the Capitals are off to the Island Division Finals. We'll step aside. When we come back, it's the post-game show. You're listening to Capitals Hockey on 89.7 Juice FM, presented by Discovery Honda.
Duncan. Visit mastercraftflooring.ca.
Welcome back inside the Cowichan Community Center. I'm Justice Doucette. Capitals take Game 5 on home ice by a score of 2-1 in overtime. Now joined by Capitals assistant coach Dan Whiteford. And Dan, you know, it came down to the wire in this one, tying the game in the final 30 seconds, winning the game in overtime. But it seems like, you know, once you got through that first period, similar to the game on Wednesday, you guys controlled.
Yeah, I think we did. You know, even in the third period there, we only got the one. We got it late. But I don't know what the board threw up there, but our shot guy had it at 15-1. Thought we controlled most of the play, and that carried into the overtime as well. I thought we controlled all the play in the overtime. They couldn't get out of their end unless they dumped it out. We regrouped. We had 5 or 6 good chances and finally buried one.
And, you know, I don't think we can really describe how nice it's going to be, at least for just rest and everything like that, not having to go to Powell River tomorrow. Was it in your minds tonight was the night to finish it?
Well, yeah, for sure. We want to finish in front of the home crowd and the home fans, but, you know, a win's a win, whether you get it in Game 5 or Game 7. It's got to be done. Yes, the rest is going to be good for us. You know, it's the playoffs. I don't think there's a team left in the playoffs that has guys that are healthy and not banged up. So the rest is good. The rest will, you know, give us some break. We'll have a good week of practice and then get ready for Nanaimo.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
That's Capitals assistant coach Dan Whiteford. We'll step aside and reset the game. You're listening to Capitals Hockey on 89.7 Juice FM, presented by Discovery Honda.